Okay, so if you've unpaused, here's the charts for 5. And the only thing I'll talk about, you always start with the same parent stuff, the 1 over x. In order to get the second chart, you're doing this multiplication by the -2 part. So that's multiply all the y's by -2, all the x's stay the same. And then to get to the last part, that's where you do the left 4 and up 3. So that's subtract 4 from the x's, add 3 to the y's. So you can pause here and check your charts, and then in a couple of seconds I'll scroll down and show you the graph. Okay, so here's the graph with that last chart next to it. So again, this is the final chart, and this is the graph of this function right here. So always make sure you graph your asymptotes first, right? That's kind of the key because it helps you guide your curves once you've plotted your points. Also, if you're ending up getting anything that looks weird, it doesn't look like these two branches, then double check those points again. Make sure you're plotting them correctly. If your table's correct, then you must be plotting something off a little bit. I often accidentally will plot the y equals 3 and the x. I'll switch them. I'll end up graphing y equals -4 and x equals 3 by accident, and then I realize something's wrong when I plot the points and they're crossing those asymptotes. Okay, so you can pause here and check that, and then I'll scroll down in a couple seconds for the last problem. So try number 6 before you before you keep going. Okay, so here's the chart for 6, the 3 charts for 6. And again, the parent is 1 over x, and so we have all that standard info for 1 over x that we keep going to. And then to get the next chart, you're going to multiply all the y values by 3 because of this vertical stretch by 3. And then, so the x's stay the same, the y's all got multiplied by 3. Then we're going to go to the right 1 unit and up 2. That's how we get our last chart. So that's add 1 to the x's, add 2 to the y's. Be extra careful when you come across fractions. When you add 1 to the x's, that changes these guys. And when you add 2 to the y's, that changes those guys. So you can pause here and check your charts, and then I'll scroll down in a couple of seconds. Okay, so now let's take a look at the graph. And I've cut and pasted that final chart next to it just so you have it. And it should look like this. Again, it's probably a good idea to start with the asymptotes x equals 1, which is this vertical one here, and y equals 2, which is that horizontal one there. And then you can plot your points and kind of use the asymptotes to guide the curves. Okay, so I hope that helps, and now you've done plenty of these graphs and you can try the homework.